This is the way I found out about this guy. So I used to work for Seaquest, which is this interactive zoo and aquarium. You can look up your own stuff about that and see what's going on with that, because I'm not going to say anything, but there's definitely stuff about it that I would agree with. But that's basically how I found out about the CEO and founder of Seaquest, Vince Covino. I've met Vince Covino probably around 3 times, and this guy knows how to talk in the same way that, like, T and Doe from Heaven's Gate cult knew how to talk. Like, he kind of talks the exact same as them. The reason Seaquest as a business was a thing is because he went into a zoo one time with his family or something. He would always tell this story every time he came in on how he started Seaquest and why. And he's like, oh, I want to connect with people. I went into a zoo one time and I offered money to go in and pet the animals, the wild animals, and they told me no. So I said, you know what? I'm going to start my own, and I'm going to let everybody come pet these animals for a price, and they can pay and come in and pet a sloth. Seaquest has its own controversies, but the dude Vince Covino is very, very interesting to me personally. But he would always come in and, like, give little speeches to all his employees, and one time he came in and he was like, I lost my faith because I hung out with a gay couple, and my Mormon religion told me that they were evil, and when I hung out with them, they didn't feel evil. And then he would be like, I love conservation, guys. I just bought my second Tesla. But it doesn't matter. Anyways, he talks like a cult leader. Even when I worked at Seaquest, it felt like a cult. To me, personally, like, this is an opinion. What's funny is you go to his website and he kind of like glazes himself, even though the business that he started, where he connected, where he touched over 20 blah 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 people, and like connected with them, that business kind of like failed. He had to like step down as like a CEO, like, no? But you can go to different parts on his website, and I was like, what is Impact Accelerator? And it took me literally to this crazy cult-looking website. The Summit, Evolving Conscious Capitalism into its Enlightened Form. And then, okay, you scroll and it shows you this, like, hierarchy. And the people at the top of the hierarchy, I guess, are like Vince Covino himself, right? And they use a lot of common words that a lot of cults in past have used, such as, you're experiencing the next evolution where we enlighten, unify, and mobilize outcomes that serve everyone. You're not just meeting the conscious founders. Their little summit, which is a very hefty price if you go for like one weekend. Oh my god, it's like $2,500 for a weekend. And then also, if you want to be a part of them or something, like I think their club or whatever they're calling it, it's $1,000 a month. It's a movement toward enlightened capitalism, the evolution beyond conscious business. Conscious capitalism awakened us. Enlightened capitalism, like, these are like such culty words. You do breath work together. And like, I would understand, like, if you're looking for a business partner, they'd be like, yeah, we're gonna help you, we're gonna teach you how to invest, we're gonna help you invest. They don't really clearly say that. It just kind of says stuff like, we want to connect with you, our leadership, and show you enlightenment. Also, I feel like the name Warrior Sage, I tried to like look into it. I don't know if it's just because I genuinely don't understand stuff that has to do with like investing in enlightened capitalism, right? But it doesn't really clearly say like, I want to help you invest. It just kind of says like a bunch of like, let me show you. This is on the actual website. This is on the actual website. I can't believe they like chose a photo like this too. Yeah, you can join they call it the circle. Join the circle for $1,000 a month. Even better, you know what? Circle members included, we can actually pay $2,500 and we can go. We can go to the summit. Vince is the definition of dedication, and it's the source of his genius and gift to the world. He shares this generously. It is truly rare to discover someone so dedicated to mastery in every dimension of life. This is what makes Vince the ideal mentor for all conscious leaders looking to step into their highest potential. Like, tell me where you've heard that before. In a cult, from a cult leader, from a follower of a cult leader. Like Impact Accelerator Circle. What about that name says, I'm going to teach you guys how to invest. I'm a speaker, a motivational speaker, blah, 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 whatever. He's basically a motivational speaker, in my opinion, just from what I'm seeing him put publicly out there about himself. And I'm not going to lie, like, I've looked through some of his videos, and he kind of just talks to talk. And I'm not trying to, like, be rude about it, even though personally, like, I'm not a fan of him as a human being. I don't know what he talks about in these videos. They, like, make no sense. Maybe I'm not on a higher conscious level. I'm not as high into the circle as he is, right? And this is, like, the little notes section about him on that website. His wisdom. Enlightened leaders don't play the money game. They redesign the game so everyone wins. What does that mean? Like, that just sounds like motivational speaker typical talk. This is him talking. Oh my god, my face is terrifying in this. Oh my god. But this is him talking about, like, just read what he's saying. What? That intentionality protects and renews your energy. Like, what the hell does any of this have to do with, like, investment and business? It sounds like a whole lot of nothing.
I hope everyone sees the DNA, the alignment that we're looking for when we select the type of investors, their personhood, their hearts, and then to just tune into what they're looking for.
Like, I'm sorry, was that video not him clearly being like, we don't accept everybody. We accept certain types of people into our inner circle of investors. And he's calling them investors. Bro, they are your cult followers. You are a, basically, cult leader. And this is just, like, my personal opinion of a random person. And I happened to come across his website because I used to hear him speak at a place I used to work at. And this is just my opinion that it's kind of odd, a little odd, kind of cult-like. I'm not calling it a cult because it kind of reminds me of some things where if you call it a cult, you might get in trouble. So I'm not calling it a cult. I'm saying this is very cult-like, and I'm thinking of it as one. But I'm not saying you should think of it as one. I'm saying you should come to your own conclusions on what I've shown.
And for business, memento mori. In other words, remember death. Remember you're going to die. When you realize we're going to die, you have so much more intentionality in the decisions that you make. That intentionality protects and renews your energy. If this were my last day on this planet, was I sandbagging? Did I give it everything today? Did I go full out? Or was I playing it a little too safe?